Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Let's begin without any delay the very first lecture of our Kaplan Gynae series. And this book is very much beneficial in exam preparation. If you are preparing for FCPS 1 Gynae, then paper 2 is gonna be an easy peasy chill pill thing for you if you study this book. And it will also help in clearing your JCAT specialty specific portion of gynae. So what is this? This is a relay race. Do you know what is a relay race? A relay race is a competition where a team of individuals work together to reach the finish line by each running a part of the course and passing a baton or similar object to the next team member. But wait, why are we discussing what is a relay race? We were supposed to discuss our gynae portion. Yeah, I know. But let me tell you why. Basically, we are gonna start the physiology of pregnancy today. And in that physiology of pregnancy, we need to understand that pregnancy is a relay race of various hormones that maintain the pregnancy, and each hormone, just like each team member of a relay race, plays its part at a specific time period of pregnancy to maintain the pregnancy, by the way. So what are those hormones? Those hormones are human chorionic gonadotropin, progesterone, estrogen, and human placental lactogen. We'll discuss in detail the specific roles they are playing and how they are contributing to maintain pregnancy in the upcoming slides. Let's see pregnancy or hormone relay race. The first hormone is the starter of pregnancy, of course, the human chorionic gonadotropin. I would like you to remember this by learning the mnemonic helps corpus grow, HCG. It's very important. This line is the crux of this whole page, by the way. What's happening that right after fertilization, early embryo implants in the uterus, and the outer layer of that embryo, which is called the syncytio trophoblast, releases HCG. That HCG prevents or saves corpus luteum from dying, which would die otherwise after 14 days. But in this case, the HCG is maintaining or preventing and protecting corpus luteum from dying. And why? The corpus luteum is producing progesterone, and HCG is saving corpus luteum to continue producing that progesterone. Okay, we'll get to know what is the significance of that progesterone. Why is HCG doing so much to save the corpus luteum, and corpus luteum producing that progesterone? So all the thing is about this progesterone. Why is it important? That's next part of the slide. But right now I would like you to remember a structure tip. Basically, a structure is similar to LH. That why it can act like LH and keep the corpus luteum going. I am telling you this line only to make you memorize this thing. Basically, it is a glycoprotein with two subunits, alpha and beta. The alpha subunit is similar to LH, FSH, and DSH. However, the beta subunit is specific for pregnancy. And this whole line was there just to make you memorize this thing. However, let's discuss the timeline. The levels of HCG vary. It starts rising 10 days after fertilization, then peaks at 9 to 10 weeks, and then again its level falls gradually, which is called plateau, at 20 to 22 weeks. It means that the level of HCG is very important to maintain pregnancy and to diagnose certain important conditions, of course. What are those important conditions? You will know now. If HCG is very high, then there can be certain conditions underlying. It can be in twin pregnancy, highly deformed mole. These are two pregnancy associated conditions. The next two are carcinoma associated conditions, choriocarcinoma and embryonal carcinoma. If the pregnancy is very low, then there can be ectopic pregnancy, threatened abortion, or missed abortion underlying. So you need to keep all these things in mind. This will help you in making a clinical diagnosis as well as knowing the role of HCG in maintaining pregnancy. Again, it was the starter of pregnancy. Then, and the starter was there to maintain progesterone. Now the next part is the baton was handed over to progesterone. The pregnancy to continue pregnancy is the role of progesterone, the next member. It is the guardian of uterus, and you can remember its role by its name. Progesterone is very similar to progestation, and it means it supports pregnancy. Why is progesterone so important? Why is it needed? Because it has certain important roles in early pregnancy as well as in late pregnancy. In early pregnancy, it stabilizes the uterine lining so that the embryo can implant and grow, and it produces some endometrial secretory changes for blastocyst implantation. However, in late pregnancy, it prevents expulsion of fetus because it relaxes the uterus, prevents contractions of the uterus, so the fetus does not get expelled. Otherwise, in the absence of progesterone, there are high chances that there could be expulsion or abortion. Also, it produces immune tolerance for pregnancy so that the body might not react against its own fetus, considering it a foreign body. So it's very important in maintaining pregnancy. But there was a thing that the starter, the hormone HCG, it was producing progesterone through corpus luteum, but the corpus luteum dies after certain times, even though it was maintained by HCG, but only to a time of 1 to 6 weeks. After 9 to 10 weeks, it will be vanished. Then the progesterone will be made by placenta. But talking specifically about the timeline, you must know that up to 6 to 7 menstrual weeks, it's produced by progesterone is produced by corpus luteum. Between 7 to 9 weeks, it's produced by both corpus luteum and placenta, and after 9 weeks, it's produced exclusively by placenta as the corpus luteum declines. I hope it's clear by now. Moving on to the third participant, the estrogens, which are the growers. By now you have gone through HCG, its role, then progesterone, its role, and now come the estrogens. The estrogens are the growers. Estrogen occurs in 3 forms, and each form is dominant in a particular phase of life. Let me tell you how. There is a type called estradiol. It is important in which phase? Reproductive years, and it is made from ovaries and granulosa cells. Estriol is pregnancy and made from placenta plus fetal adrenal DHEAS. Estrone in menopause and is produced from adipose tissue. Now I would tell you a mini tip just to keep you memorize which hormone is important in which phase. The reproductive years are the early years of married life, so there is a couple which is denoted by 2. Estriol is important in pregnancy. A third person adds to the family, which is father, mother and baby. And estrone, the mother, is again menopause. In menopause stage, the female is again kind of single. Di in diol will help you memorize 2 and the reproductive years. Tri in triol will help you remember 3 and correlating it with pregnancy. And estrone has 1 at its end, which will help you memorize menopause phase. Now, as we are discussing specifically about pregnancy, so estriol is the one main in pregnancy. And what does it do? It promotes uterine growth, it causes breast development, and it reduces blood flow to the uterus. The Fourth hormone is the human placental lactogen. It is the nutrient shifter. By now you have done HCG. The race of pregnancy has started. The HCG further gives its responsibilities to maintain pregnancy to progesterone. There comes next the estrogen, and then the human placental lactogen. That's it. Now, what's the role of human placental lactogen? Why do we need it? Listen, baby needs glucose for growth, and that glucose is provided by the human placental lactogen. See how. Human placental lactogen decreases maternal insulin sensitivity. By decreasing the maternal insulin sensitivity, it makes more glucose available in the blood. More glucose stays in the blood and can go to the baby. And that's why it was called the nutrient shifter. It is produced by the placenta syncytial trophoblast, and its level rises as the placenta grows. Its level parallels the placental growth, rising throughout pregnancy. So if the level of human placental lactogen is not increasing, rather it's low, means that the baby is not getting enough nutrients. And if the baby is not getting enough nutrients, it will restrict its growth. IUG can occur, or there can be threatened abortion. Moreover, there is a clinical tip regarding gestational diabetes, that the insulin resistance is physiological. As you know, human placental lactogen is doing it on purpose, but if it becomes too much, then this can cause gestational diabetes. We missed a very important thing regarding its structure. Listen, human placental lactogen is important for the growth of baby, so its structure is similar to the anterior pituitary growth hormone. And there is a word placental lactogen which will help you memorize the second hormone that is similar in structure to this hormone is prolactin. I hope this thing is clear by now. So this is a quick kind of summary of each hormone. This is all about human placental, human chorionic gonadotrophin. This is about human placental lactogen. In this slide, the sequence is not the one we discussed in the previous lecture, but this sequence matches the book pages, so you can memorize things as per your convenience. Then progesterone, and then estrogen. And just to make you understand, we just missed one thing about progesterone, that it's a steroid hormone. Rest we have discussed everything mentioned in these two pages as well. We discussed the OBS portion, and I have a certain breakdown of this whole chapter. Today we discussed only the physiology of reproduction. It's a very good idea for all of you as well in your self-study. I would suggest that whenever you study a chapter, just go through the whole chapter, its headings, and write down, or at least enlist the main headings. Just like this chapter has physiology of reproduction, physiological changes of pregnancy, physiology of lactation, embryology and phytology, prenatal stats and terminology, genetic disorders, multifactorial inheritance. By this you would have an idea what you are going to study in the whole chapter, na? And we have discussed this much portion here, and from book pages, and these two pages. So this was all about today's lecture. In the beginning we are keeping our pace a little bit slow, but inshallah it will be speedy once we get a temperament. So best of luck, guys. If you have any query or if you have a suggestion, you can share in the comment section, and good luck. Until next time, fi amanillah.